Hello readers, and thank you for joining me for another phonics lesson. Today we're going to be looking again at diphthongs. The diphthong we're learning at today is the one that makes the ow sound. Can you say ow? Ow! I know that's what it makes you think of, like you got hurt. It's the same sound. The ow sound can be spelled a couple of different ways. One of them is OU, another one is OW, and we can see that with the word clown. Ow, n. That has the ow sound, and it's spelled O-W. Now, before we get started learning about these, let's go ahead and practice writing them. Get out your paper and pencil, dry erase board and marker like I am, or if you don't have either one, you can do it in the air with your magic pencil, and you can air write. So let's go ahead and practice them. Now, as we usually do, as you're writing them, make sure you make the sound. You ready? Let's do them 3 times each. Let's start with OU. Ow. 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 Next, let's do OW. 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 Good job. Hopefully that wasn't as painful as it sounded. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, the question is, when do we use which one? How do I know? Am I using OU or OW when I'm writing? And there are some rules, and there's also some rule breakers. I'm going to slide myself over here. And let's go over the rules, like when do we use OU or OW? When you hear the ow sound at the beginning or in the middle of a word or syllable, it is usually spelled OU. Like the word cloud. We hear that ow sound in the middle. When you hear the ow sound at the end of a syllable or word, it's usually spelled OW. Now, there are some rule breakers, and I actually used a rule breaker for our sound picture. The word clown is a rule breaker. Clowns usually are. If the word rhymes with down, frown, clown, town, or if it rhymes with owl, howl, towel, growl, we usually use an OW. Otherwise, OW is usually at the end of a word or a syllable. Now, let's get started with some blending. And then we're going to do some word chaining at the end. All right, let's get started. I'm going to move myself back over. All right. Sound. Ooh. Sound. Ow. Put it together. Loud. Loud. If something is really loud, it might hurt your ears. Sound. Sound. Ow. Put it together. Count. Put that together. Count. Count. When you count, you can count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can even count by 5s or 10s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. All right. Sound. I know it's a schwa. I snuck one in there. It makes the sound instead of the a or a. So let's say Put that together. Mow. A mountain. It's a big word. Amount. Amount. If you have an amount of something, you have a certain number of it. Sound. Sound. Ow. Put that together. Now. If something is happening now, it's happening right now. Sound. P. Sound. Owl. Put that together. Power. Power. If something has power, it has strength. Sound. B. Sound. Put that together. Brow. Put that together. Brown. Brown. You may have a brown crayon in your coloring box. I used to have brown hair. All right, let's review some sounds we've already learned this year. As I point to them, if you'll go ahead and make the sound. Pull. Sk. Stir. Cur. Spool. Sh. Or. F. O. E. E. O. And we know that IE can make two sounds. It can say I, or it can say E. All right, let's get started with some word chaining. Say out. Now say out again, but put a P at the beginning. What do you have? Pout. Say pout again. Next time, drop the T and put a ND at the end. What would you have? Pound. Now let's change pound. Drop the P and put a S. What do you have? Sound. Now let's say sound again, but let's get rid of the S and put a GR at the front. What would you have? Ground. Now let's say ground again, but let's get rid of the GR and add a what's my new word? Hound. Now let's say hound, but let's get rid of the ND. What's left? Howl. Now let's say howl, and let's put a L at the end. What do I get? Howl. Now let's say howl, but let's drop the H. What's my word now? Owl. Now let's say owl again, but put a T at the beginning. What's my new word? Towel. Say towel again, but let's get rid of the ul and put a N at the end. What's my new word? Town. And this is our last one. Let's get rid of the T and put a kul at the beginning. What's my new word? Clown. Very good. How'd you do on those? Could you figure out what all the new words were? I hope so. Guys, thanks for joining me again for another lesson. We'll see you next time. And until then, happy reading.